get a drink, go do something else. But we're all just going to say hi and hello for a few minutes. Hello, Deborah. Hello, John from home base. I'm waiting on somebody to notice. Hello, Hattie. Let's see. Yep. Kathy, how are the cats? Hello, Sandra from Demon's Ferry. Happy Sunday. Trish is sneaking in here. But today is Sunday, November the 20th. Hello, Carolou. Good to see you. Let's see. Oh, wait. Lori. Wait, is it Lori? Is it Lori? Let me see. Laura. It's Laura. It is Laura's first time. Everybody please welcome her. Laura, Laura. Hello, Patty. Good to see you. Hello, Deanna. And yeah, John already knows the answer, so that's not really fair. Aloha, Kathy. Deborah, yes, my hair is pulled back. Has it not been packed? Scott wins. Okay, John doesn't count. John doesn't count because he already knew the answer. And hello, Sandra from Naperville. Yep, and Patsy is right. But yeah, Scott wins because he was the first one to notice. No bandage on my finger. So I am, hello, Orlando Debbie. So I am without, and hello, Trish. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. I'm without a bandage tonight. I'm going to try not to get too, I don't know if y'all can see it or not. I'm going to try not to get too close to the camera. Hello. Oh, is it Karen with a C? Oh, that's pretty cool. I'm going to try not to get, and hello, Linda from Rock Island, Illinois. I'm going to try not to get too close to the camera though with my hand because just in case anybody's a little squeamish, but it is fantastically healed just in the last 2 days. And let me see, who did I miss? Hello, Mary. I think I missed Barbara in there somewhere. Yep, I did. Hello, Barbara. And yep, and Karen is with a C. Karen, C-A-R-E-N. And hello to the other Barbara. Y'all jumped on at the same time. Hello, Haley. And let's see if I missed anybody. But anyway, yeah. I am bandage free and I'm planning on staying bandage free for a while, and Deanna is doing the puking face, so I will keep the hands back here so that you all can't see them, but I promise you it's not that bad. Quickly I will tell you, and hello Haley, let's see, hello Haley, and oh no. Trish says, okay, just gonna tell you all, Trish says just have whoever doesn't want to see it cover their eyes for just a second so that everybody else can see it. Yeah, I'm not going to do that to y'all. Trish, I'll just send you a picture. And hello, Roberta. Thank you, Debbie, for that. But it is not, today, it's not that bad. Last Sunday, it was still pretty gross. Today, I mean, it's crazy. Like in the last 2 days, it is like miraculously healed. And you can ask John, he's on here. He's probably already not paying attention to me again. But you can ask him. It was weird. Like it was not great. Not bad, but not great last Sunday. And then just in the last 2 days, it is like boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden, like, you know, scabbed over really good, really well, and I can get it wet again. It is fantastic. Anyway, you wouldn't know, you have no idea how much I have longed to take a shower with both, you know, with both hands. Anyway, it's the little things. I'm thankful for the little things. Hello, Sabrina from Mobile, Alabama. It's good to see you. Oh, and John is still paying attention. Whoopsie. I should be quiet. Okay, yeah, so happy Sunday, everybody. Good to see you. I'm going to say as many highs and hellos as I can. Honestly, just because I like to irritate the people who don't like to hear hi and hello. I don't know. They're also probably the same people who would run if they saw me because I'm a hugger. Okay, I will digress. Hello, Pat from Illinois. If you are brand new, then please also let us know that because we would love to welcome you. I know we had Laura just a few minutes ago who was brand new. Let's see, Sherry's having trouble getting the sound. So Sherry, I'm going to say go out and come back in because it seems like everybody else can hear me just fine. And let me see, who did I miss? Vicky, did I get you? Yeah, hello, Vicky. Okay, so hello, everybody. Hello, Lisa. Good to see you. We are sliding in quick to Thanksgiving. We're going to be talking a little bit more about, I've got some more questions and answers to answer, to answer about the new Weight Watchers program tonight. So we'll finish that up tonight. Couple of little things, little tidbits of news. Hello, Anna. It's good to see you. Little tidbits of news. We are just shy of 1 week into the new Weight Watchers program. As you know, when it rolled out, tomorrow is officially and hello Nancy sneaking in there. Tomorrow is officially the 1 week mark from when it officially rolled out. We're going to talk more about that in the second half. I've got a little bit of housekeeping and some more questions and answers to take care of in the second half. So we'll do that, and I'll tell you one thing that I did find. One thing that I did find, and I think that, you know, could be important. Yeah, Lisa, I know. I'm not going to show you too much of it because it's still, you know, it's still a little grody looking. It doesn't look that bad, but I can tell now how much of my pinky is actually missing. That's what I meant to say a second ago. Next week, you all will have to endure a kitchen safety chat. So we will spend the second half of next week's chat talking about kitchen safety, because now that I can see my finger, now that I can see the injury, I can't tell you how close I was to losing like that much of my finger, okay? So y'all are going to have to listen to a kitchen safety. My fingernail literally kept me from losing that much of my finger. Okay, so for those of you who are a little bit squeamish, I'll quit talking about that. Okay, Debbie is helping with the sound issue, so thank you as always, Miss Debbie. So we'll answer some more questions in the second half. Second little bit of news. I stumbled across something today. I was picking up a prescription and stumbled across something today that I had not seen. It was new to me. I'm going to be checking it out. For those of you who love Bragg apple cider vinegar and its health benefits, I saw today, and again, it's new to me. If you've known about it for a while, just humor me, but it's now available in a capsule form. And according to the Bragg website, each daily serving provides 750 milligrams of acetic acid. Oh no. Okay, Deanna needs me to hold up a little sign when I talk with my fingers so she can mute. I will quit waving my finger around. I can't believe you can see it that much. But anyway, each daily serving provides 750 milligrams of acetic acid, which helps to reduce the absorption of carbohydrates, which in turn reduces blood sugar spikes and results in so many health benefits. I'll have Jessica post the link to the Bragg website when she posts the chat here probably tomorrow, so that you can check it out. But I thought that was interesting that they are available in capsules now. Last little bit of news. I will not be able to participate in the, let's see. Debbie wants to know if the capsule comes with the mother. That's a great question. I feel like it does, because I don't know how it would, but I feel like it does, because their website seemed to tout that it was the same everything, same benefits that they've been working on for 100 years. So I feel like it should. Anyway, I feel like it should have that. Okay, and then the last little bit of news, I will not be able to participate in this due to time constraints, because it is just like, I don't know, this is normally a slowing down time for us here at Casey Kitchen Center, and you can ask Kendall and John and everyone else who works here, we are slammed to the walls, busy. So I will not be able to participate in this, but the same little group of merry recipe makers that have been hanging out with Joan of Joan's Pointed Plate. You know, she hosted Soup Timber and then Croctober, and then she had one of the groupies, her little groupies, she had one of them host a November, and she has a December coming up, but the November is called Nutvember. They are not necessarily Weight Watchers friendly recipes, but they are looking good. I was sneaking and looking at some of them earlier today. And so Nutvember will be rolling out November the 20th. Same as always, same as Soup Timber and Croctober. I will still post who has recipes, even though I myself am not going to be able to participate with a recipe, but that will be next Sunday. That's November the 20th, and they will roll out, they will drop those recipes will drop at 9 a.m. Eastern on Sunday the 20th, and I will post that list. And Caroline says, luckily she was up tonight. Let's see, slept in this morning, so not tired yet. That is awesome. So hello, Caroline. It's good to see you also. And hello, Lynn. So awesome. Hello, everybody. Okay, review from last week. I'm going to try and figure out how to ask you about sitting your bottoms in chairs without using this hand, because Carol Lou doesn't want to see this hand anymore. If everybody, oh no, Trish is waiting for the picture. Hello, Myra. That's so funny. That is so funny. Oh, some of them have already posted them. Okay, maybe they got excited. Joan wasn't in charge of it. She wasn't in charge of it this time. So yeah, so maybe they got a little excited and already, oh wait, what am I saying? Yeah, what am I even saying? Thank you, Barbara, for correcting me. Yes, some of them have already posted them, because today is the 20th. Doy, Kelly. Okay, you can tell when I'm not participating, I'm not on board. Hello, Bernice. So today, so it looks like I need to hurry and post who is, oh, and happy anniversary, Carol. Carol knows it's the 20th because it's her anniversary. And thank you, Mary, for pointing out the obvious. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just so excited that my finger does not have the bandage on it. Yeah, so excited about that I forgot that today was the 20th. Anyway, I'll get that posted. That was the Nutvember set of recipes, but I'm going to try not to use this hand too much because Carol Lou doesn't want to see it. Trish does want to see it. You know, just saying. Okay, so who sat your bottom in a little chair last week? So I know for sure that one of the Barbaras sat her bottom in a chair because she took a selfie with my Gwen. So yeah, so I know that she did, but give me some thumbs ups. And I'm going to do this left-handed so Carol doesn't have to see my finger. Give me some thumbs ups if you sat your bottom in a little chair last week, or some hearts. Yeah, Marianne was in a green, had her bottom in a green chair, or some hearts if you attended here with us live last week, or if you watched later on demand. And I am not going to use my right hand for the hearts because then you all would. Oh, it wasn't you. Oh, who was it that said they didn't want to see it? Sorry, Carol. Still not going to show y'all because it's still a little bit like I'm missing part of my pinky. So. Yeah, so sorry about that. Okay, sorry, Carol. For some reason, I thought it was you. And Linda had her bottom in a green chair again, but I'm definitely not going to do hearts with my other hand because then you would for sure be able to see my pinky, although it looks fantastically better. So yeah, lots of thumbs ups and hearts. So I'm seeing thumbs ups for sitting your bottom in a chair or attending a Zoom workshop, or hearts for attending here with us live. So if you're brand new, if you're watching this live with us here tonight on Facebook, what we're doing is you have on, oh, it was Deanna. Oh, sorry, that's right. And I'm not going to talk about it anymore. So Deanna, we're not going to talk about it anymore. And I totally understand. I really don't understand, but I totally understand because never mind. Yeah, but I'll keep it hidden down here. We're not going to talk about it anymore. But if you're brand new, what we're doing is I ask for thumbs ups. And if you're watching with us live, there is a little thumbs up. If you're watching on a phone or a tablet, there's a little thumbs up at the bottom of your screen that you can hit. If you attended an in-person Weight Watchers workshop, you can do a thumbs up for that. If you're not brand new, or if you just haven't commented before, you can hit the heart button. If you were with us live last week, or if you have gone back and watched any of our previous videos, hearts. So this is just a fun little way to participate. You don't actually get anything. These are like virtual, bravos. Not going to use my other hand, but this bravo to everyone. Actually, you won't be able to see it. Bravo to everyone for going to your in-person workshops last week, Zoom workshops, or for watching here with us live. So yeah, good job, everybody. Last week was chat number 295, and we were talking the entire chat last week. We talked about the new Weight Watchers program. So is there anybody with us tonight? Hello, Kim. Is there anybody here with us tonight who either didn't know that Weight Watchers had a new program, like somehow you've missed the news, and it's okay. I'm not going to make fun of you. It's a busy time of year. You don't necessarily have to know everything. Who either doesn't know that there's a new Weight Watchers program and you haven't let your app update, maybe you haven't been on your app in a little bit, or you're brand new to Weight Watchers. So let's just take 2 seconds, and I'm looking at the clock that fell off the wall while we were decorating for Christmas last week. So just give me a show of hands if you didn't know that Weight Watchers has a new program. Again, haven't been in your app, just have missed the news, have been under a rock, something like that. Or if you're brand new to the Weight Watchers program. So give me a show of hands on that. And that's just a curiosity question. It has nothing to do with tonight's chat. Okay. Just nothing. It's just out of curiosity. Okay. So last week, chat number 200. Okay. And Laura didn't just started virtual and hadn't updated the app. Okay. So still pretty new. I will say for you all, last week, chat number 295, which is already posted on YouTube. And if you just go to youtube.com and search the @ symbol, and if you have an egg, you will be able to find chat number 295. So that is the one that will automatically start playing as soon as, and Carolyn says the app is changing there in December. Carolyn, you'll already be a pro by the time your app changes, okay? And remember, you'll be the first to know. So remember, whoever it was that told you, you personally will be the first to know when it changes. So, and you'll just have to let us know. But if you go to youtube.com and search for if you have an egg, then that's the first video that's running. So if you need to know, like if you're brand new to Weight Watchers, or if you didn't realize that we were having a change, or if you just have some unanswered questions, then if you just go there, that's the first one that's playing. Okay, so last week, that's all we talked about. So we spent the entire time last week talking about the new Weight Watchers program. I highly recommend going back and listening to it, watching it, something, just get familiarizing yourself with it just so that you'll know what's going on. I have heard so many fantastic comments. I mean, as wound up as everybody gets not everybody, as wound up as some people get when we switch programs or when they have tweaks to it or whatever, this one, I've heard all good things. I mean, there's been a little tiny bit of bitterness about losing avocado as a 0-point food, or, ask Debbie, she weighs it and she still gets plenty of avocado to be, to satisfy her. Or a little bit bitter about losing oats, I don't really want to count that many points for my overnight oats, but it's okay, a tiny bit. It's all mostly all been good comments. I've heard things like, this new program is so easy, I rejoined Weight Watchers. So people who had left a long time ago, or people who left when the personal points plan rolled out and they just couldn't figure it out, they're rejoining because this one is so easy. So I just want to encourage you, new people or people who are coming back, this one's so stinking easy. It's almost as easy as Points Plus. And y'all, if you've been around for any length of time, you know how much I loved Points Plus. And that's what I got to goal on, was Points Plus in, I believe it was 2014, and stayed at goal until stupid COVID. And I'm working my way back to that. But anyway, this one's it's so easy. It's just so easy. So I'm hearing this program is so easy, I rejoined Weight Watchers. My partner and I can finally eat together again because we have the same 0-point foods. Again, something I hadn't considered is that if if the person that you spend all of your time with eating, whoever that person is, it might be a spouse, it might be another family member, it might be somebody at work. If they had a different 0 points list than you, that would be hard to eat. And even though some foods are no longer 0, my daily points allowance went up enough that I can still enjoy them. That actually happened to me. Okay, yeah, and Nancy just rejoined because it seems so much better. It's so much better. Okay, I was not personally opposed to personal points. Okay, yeah, wait, Kathy says I have extra points so I can still have oats or potatoes. Same here. But it is so easy. I didn't mind personal points because I liked the creativity of it, but I can totally see why it would be hard, confusing, loss of community, whatever. So this one is so easy, and we are a community again. Yeah, and Deborah says I love it more than the one, let's see, when it first started, and she loves it. They went back to calling it Weight Watchers. Me too. Yeah. Okay, so quickly, last week we talked about things that were gone. And those are things like adding points back with non-starchy veggies or water. That is gone. You still need to keep them front of mind. You can still still eat them, but we just don't get added points back for them. Rice, pasta, potatoes, oats, and avocado as 0-point foods. Those are gone. You can still enjoy them. You just need to count them. Different daily points allowances for each person. That is gone. The personal points engine assessment to create a completely unique set of points for each person and 0-point foods, that is gone. What stayed the same? Points calculation method stayed the same. So it depends on calories, fat, fiber, protein, added sugar, things like that. All foods are still okay. You just need to count them. All non-starchy vegetables still count as 0. They're still 0 points. Weekly budgets will remain. We can still earn points for activity. We're going to talk about that in a second. Unused daily points will roll over to weekly points. Unused daily points, that is 4 points, up to 4 points per day. That was a question from last week that I think I did not answer. Up to 4 unused daily points will roll over each day, but that ends at the end of your week. So like my week starts on Tuesday, so whatever is not used, like I wouldn't roll over again. It just rolls over that week and then that ends. But that was a question I did not answer last week. Let's see, the blue dot range will still be up to 8 below your daily or up to 10 over your daily to earn a blue dot. Things that would change, the name going forward is Weight Watchers. Yep, and it's not going to change. Those who are diabetic or pre-diabetic, you will have some exceptions to the 0-point food list. And let's see, and there will be 9 categories of 0 point food. So every single one of you should have these 9 categories, unless you are diabetic or pre-diabetic. All the rest of us should have these 9 categories of food. If you do not have these 9 categories of food, you need to raise your hand, because I need to figure out how to get you some help, okay? So non-starchy veggies, fruit, unless you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, chicken and turkey breast, fish and shellfish, eggs, tofu and tempeh, fat-free plain yogurt and fat-free cottage cheese, unless you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, beans, peas, and lentils, corn and air-popped popcorn, unless you are diabetic or pre-diabetic. Okay, so those are the things that have changed. Your homework for last week was to hashtag work your plan. If you're new, we have homework every week, and I expect you to do your homework. So new people, it is mandatory. You have to do your homework every single week. I'm just kidding. I love it when you do your homework, though. And you don't really get anything. You get virtual Bravos for that, but come on. Who doesn't want a virtual Bravo? So your homework for last week was hashtag work your plan, and I really wanted you to embrace this new opportunity that we had and tell us one way that you were going to do that you were going to work your plan this last week. So let's see how you did. Anita worked her plan by making sure that she had point-friendly food already stocked, ready to go in her fridge and her pantry, so she's less tempted to eat those higher point foods. Girl, talk about working a plan. Good job. Then Stacy was working her plan by trying things that she had never had before, like roasted beets. I was thrilled to find out that she loved them, and I think she was a little bit surprised by how delicious they were They were just for snacking or like for adding to the top of a salad. So work it, girl. And Carol took it to the very basics. So she took this working the plan and took it down to the very basics and got acquainted with the 0 points food list. So she actually went through and checked out what those 0 points, foods were, and then figured out ways to take advantage of them. So fantastic job, everybody who worked your plan this week. I'm going to quickly do your Bravo so that Deanna, not Carol Lou, sorry about that, Carol Lou, so that Deanna can't see we're not going to talk about my finger, but virtual Bravos all the way around. So bravo, everyone who did your homework last week. Good job, everybody. And I'm looking, again, I keep looking for the clock that fell yesterday. Okay, this week, quickly, we're talking about staying on track while eating out. So I know that this was the topic from 2 weeks ago, but I thought it was so important that we needed to include it in this week's, chat. So, well, here we are. We are days away from the holidays. So the U.S. Turkey Day is on Thursday. And hot on its little heels are a plethora of other holidays, eating out opportunities to go to parties, other people's houses, all kinds of things. Other reasons to consume food out. You might think of traditional eating out as going to a restaurant, but anytime that you are not eating at home or in your controlled space, we would consider that out. We would consider that eating out. So whether it's an office party or if it's at your mother-in-law's endless buffet, here are a few simple things to keep your sanity when you are not in control of the food choices. First thing, when you know what's on the menu, you can pre-track which you can. If you already know what's on the menu, you can pre-track some of it. You could save up some weeklies or rollover points, or you could eat a low or 0 point meal, breakfast meal snack ahead of time so you don't go into it hungry. Second thing, if you're going to go in blind, so if you know where you're going, what you're doing, but you don't really know what's on the menu, see if you can check out what's being served. Hello, Terry. Good to see you. So kind of go check it out, go see what's going on in the food situation, see what's going on, to see if you can find some 0 point options to add to your plate before you dive into the desserts or to the drink bar. Avoid descriptions like creamy, buttery, smothered. Y'all know what those trigger words are that you need to avoid. So avoid those and instead look for things like grilled, broiled, lighter fare. If it is a restaurant, sometimes it'll say lighter fare. It'll have a little heart next to it, heart healthy or something like that. And see if you can get your hands on a smaller plate so it looks fuller, while you're walking around with it or sitting with it, and you're not tempted to get a giant dinner plate and try to fill it to the edges. Curveballs and how to dodge them. The first one is the well-meaning aunt We all have that family member or friend who feels the need to make sure that you're eating. Okay. Ways to avoid her are making sure you have a drink in your hand, walking around with a drink, especially a little sparkly drink, a drink in your hand, or an empty plate with a napkin on top of it, because then she'll think you already ate. Make sure you're walking around with that ooh and ah. Oh, that was so good. Oh, that is delicious. That is fantastic. That one is so good. Even if you didn't try it, because then she'll think, she, he, whatever, they'll think, oh, they tried it and they loved it, even if you did not, a bite of it did not enter into your mouth. Or this one always works for me, going, oh my gosh, I had so much. Oh, and tugging at your waistband and whoo, oh my goodness, we're going to have to go for a walk or a nap. Even if you did not eat until you were over full, they don't need to know that, okay? The second one is the, but it's a party buddy. We all have that buddy. You are likely to experience somewhere between 2 and 10 other parties this season. So perhaps you need to take that, but it's a party buddy, to the side and go, look, here's where I'm at. Here's what's going on. I love you and I need your support. And just go ahead and explain up front why you need their support, and that you do not need an excuse to feel guilty later. Okay. Hello, Norma. It's nice to see you. So go ahead and do that. And then the I love you with food. But I love you with food friend. I had this friend and it was so bad. Her literal love language was making you food and then watching you eat every single bite. Like there was no getting out of it. She was going to stand there and watch you eat it. After pleading with her for years, I know, Barbara, just about time. After pleading with her for years to stop, and actually kind of sort of making her cry a few times, I finally found a way to break that cycle when a special occasion would be coming around, or if it had, I could just tell that it had been too long. Since we had done this, then I would look up a point-friendly recipe, print it out, so something that was completely, like a normal human being like her wouldn't have had a clue that it was Weight Watchers friendly. And I would print it out and I would bring it to her and I would say, oh my gosh, this looks so good. Can we make this? Would you help me make this? And I would bring her something and ask her to, ask her to make it for me or to make it for us, to share or whatever. And I can tell you, and I would just always go, pleading eyes, will you please make this? Will you please help me make this? And I will tell you, it worked every time. And I could say goodbye, food pusher, and hello to being a friend again. okay, so this week's homework is back on the menu. It's hashtag BACKONTHEMENU. And I am so excited about how easy this new program is that this week I want you to tell us something that is back on your menu for you with this new Weight Watchers program. So for me, it's fish. I had not been including fish in my 0 point foods just because I ate too much chicken and turkey over here, and I needed to save that. Thank you, Lynn, for posting the homework, hashtag back on the menu. And I needed that. I couldn't have both of them. So I've been excluding fish for a year now on what is now the old program, but it is now back on the menu. And because it's been a year since I've had any fish, really, it's been a year since I've had much to any fish. I've already had tuna 4 times this week, okay? So that's back on my menu. Thank you, Deborah, for posting the homework. So I want you to find something that is back on the menu for you. It doesn't have to be 0 points, just something that you have added back on your menu. Yep, Norma's same fish boat as me. And tag me, post it so I can give you your new super cool badge. See, Greek yogurt is back on the menu, but Carol doesn't like counting points for potatoes. So sad. Okay, so do your homework so that I can give you next week's awesome Bravo badge that Casey is already working on. Okay, I am not putting on the apron for the second half of tonight's chat. Hello. Oh, Caroline's added shamrocks to her hello. I'm not putting on the apron for the second half of tonight's chat because we are continuing to talk about the new Weight Watchers program. I am, however, going to make everybody stop for just a second, get you a drink of water. If you're new, at the halfway point, we take a break. Y'all can run to the potty. I'm going to drink some water. You can drink some water. You should be drinking some water. If you were in the If You Have an Egg Facebook group, thank you, Nora, for posting that. If you're in the If You Have an Egg Facebook group, we will start. Julie will be starting the water tracking challenge I think starts next week. It starts in December, so that's like the end of next week. So always, 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 even though we do not add points back for water anymore, always drink your water. Okay, so at the halfway point, let's take a quick other little break, and let me tell you, so many of y'all asked about the coffee sweaters that Casey makes. If you're brand new, I don't try to sell you something every week, and I'm not trying to sell you something tonight, but these are so stinking cute that if you want one, I'm happy to try and sell it to you. My daughter Casey, who does all of our YouTube videography, she edits all of our videos. She puts anything that has to do with a video or has to do with a graphic or a badge graphic. My daughter Casey puts all of that together while she is wrestling a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old. Yeah, a lot of acrobatics. And somehow, in the middle of all that, also is the crocheter to the stars. My mom would have been so proud of her. Well, she was proud of her. And she would have been so proud of her for her crocheting abilities. But for those of you who did ask about coffee sweaters, this is the gingerbread man, or this is the gingerbread. It could be a girl, either one. This is the gingerbread. There are only, I think we have 5 or maybe 6 of these left. If you want a coffee sweater, you can just either direct message me or you can email me at ifyouhaveanegg@gmail.com. Let me see if I can move the right direction. I'm moving the wrong direction. So this is the gingerbread. I think we have 5 or 6 of this one left. The Christmas tree, I think we have 6. The snowman, we have like 4. The reindeer, there's like 2. She's refusing to make any more of the reindeer. There's only like 2 of them left. The winter blue, I still have 7 or 8 of these left. Peppermint, I'm sorry, spearmint is the green one. Peppermint is the red one. So spearmint is green. Peppermint, this is so weird doing this one-handed now, trying not to show Deanna my finger or anybody else who's squeamish. So spearmint is green. Peppermint is red. I think I still have maybe 4 or 5 left of each of these colors. Then we have just the beautiful red. That's like a cardinal red. Look how bright. Look how bright that is. And thank you, Debbie, for posting that. And the Grinch, she went ahead and made, these were so popular. The Grinch and the gingerbread have been the most popular so far. The Grinch, she went ahead and did a second batch of these. So I think I'm back up to like 10 of this one. So again, like 10, less than 6, I think. 6, probably 6, maybe 3 or 4. I only have like the Christmas tree, I might have 6. Snowman, I only have like 3. And reindeer, there's like 2 because she's refusing to make any more of those. Okay, so now that we are done with the break, and Caroline, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay. So now that we are done with my little coffee sweater public service announcement, let's get back to the chat. This is chat number 296, which means if you are new, there are 295 other chats on YouTube. That's just youtube.com, search at the @ symbol. If you have an egg, it will should take you straight to the channel. Once you get there, the new Weight Watchers program, chat number 295, that's going to automatically start playing, but there are 295 other chats to go and watch. If you need to download anything I'm talking about, like if you want to print it, you can go to IfYouHaveAnEgg.com and there will be printable notes for all of this. But last week we spent the entire chat and next week we will get back to a more normal chat. But I had enough questions. I felt like we needed to answer the rest of them tonight. So next week we'll definitely be talking about kitchen safety. Maybe make something while we're talking about kitchen safety. Again, if you're new, these are a 1-hour long chat. The first 30 minutes is classroom. It's whatever the previous week's topic was for Weight Watchers. And then the second half is something fun. Something fun tonight is talking about the remaining questions that I had from the new Weight Watchers program. Next week, fun. And notice, and I can still only use one hand. Next week, fun means talking about kitchen safety. So, Deanna, I need you to cover your ears and your eyes for just a second. For those of you that are new, I did have a kitchen incident a couple of weeks ago that kept me hold on a second. Let's see. I'm sorry. Caroline wants to know, she has a question. Have you had a chat on overeating and emotional? We do talk about emotional things in several of the chats. Caroline, I will try to go back and find one of those for you. Okay, but Deanna, I love the Retta. Deanna, I need you to cover your ears and your eye. I'm not going to put it up close, but cover your ears and your eyes for just a second. And I will wave at you when I'm done. But I'm not going to get real close to the camera, but I had a kitchen injury, stupid one. 2 weeks ago. So next week is not fun. Next week we have to have a serious chat about kitchen safety. Okay, Deanna, you can uncover your eyes. We're done talking about that. Okay, so for the second half of tonight though, we are still talking about the new Weight Watchers program. Got some more questions that that I need to answer. But if you all have any more questions, feel free to go ahead and pop them into the comments, and I will try to circle back around to them. Some things, and you are more than welcome, Deanna. Some things, because I'm sure there are more. It's more than just you, and they're just not brave enough to say anything. There are a few people here who are smarter than me and will know the answer to some of these questions. We usually do have at least a Weight Watchers leader or two on here with us, not always live, but we normally do have one that goes back, is kind of looking at some of the comments that you all have. So you can either comment here live, and Terry doesn't like to look either. So Terry, I'm sorry. Okay, we're done. So it's going to stay down here for the rest of the night, and I'm done talking about it. But I'm going to answer some more of the questions, but if you do have any other questions, or you know what I could do? Hold on, I have a pocket tonight. Okay, so if you do have any other questions though, please feel free to put them in the comments. We are live here on Facebook right now. You can put them in those comments. If I don't get to them live, I'll try to, circle back around later. When this posts, after we get done, this will be posted on Facebook. You can ask questions then, or when this posts on YouTube. I love it when y'all ask questions on YouTube, and on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com under the chat. So if you ask there, we will find out. Okay, so few more questions that we had, either didn't answer last week or had in this last week, additional questions that we had. First question I had was, so how many 0 point foods are there on this list? Okay, and let's see, Larry and Mary, we're going to answer that one here in just a second. So they want to know, how many points do you get? We're going to answer that one here in a few minutes. And Patsy's saying when her app updated, it did not ask her for her weight, gender, whatever. Patsy, it probably still had whatever that last information was, so you do not need to answer that again. That's a great question though, Patsy. Patsy's asking if you had to re-enter all of that information. You shouldn't have to. If you're new, you'll have to put it in the first time. Should not have to put that kind of information in the second time. I would recommend though that you go ahead and track your weight. If you haven't tracked it in a while, go ahead and track that. Okay. So one question I didn't answer from last week, one of them I already answered. So that was, how many points a day roll over? 4, up to 4. So I got to keep telling myself it's up to 4, because if you don't save any points, if you don't have any points left over, then 0 roll over. If you have 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 4. If you had 6 points left over for the day, 4. It's only 4 will roll over to the next day, and then that ends whenever your week starts again. Then those are gone. And Patsy, you are welcome. Okay. So then I've been asked 100 times, how many 0 point foods are on this list? It is over 200. 200. If you count each one of them individually, it is over 200. I did not go through and count exactly how many that is, because some things are not redundant, but like lettuce. Lettuce is lettuce in my opinion. So we have iceberg lettuce, we have butter lettuce, blah, blah lettuce. I'm not counting 5 different versions of lettuce as 5 things, but it is over 200. If you can't find something to eat, and we have had a chat about that before eons ago, and I'll have to look that number up too, but we have had chats before about what to do if you can't find anything out of over 200 things to eat. So perhaps I'll make that the topic of another chat, coming up here in a few weeks. Kitchen safety chat is first though. Okay, so over 200. Next question was, do I have to track 0 point foods? No, you don't. Part of the beauty of this plan is you do not need to weigh, measure, count, or track your 0-point foods if you don't want to. You can if you want to. You absolutely do not have to. You do not have to, because I've had people ask too, do I have to weigh them? Do I have to whatever? You don't have to, okay? But if you don't have to track your 0-point foods, why would someone track their 0-point foods? Because that was almost the next question was, okay, well, if I don't have to, then why would somebody even do that? That was actually a question that came up during our live. Oh goodness, Norma has to have a total hip replacement surgery on December 8th and is changed to online only. Oh my goodness, well just do this workshop because we're not going to let you lay there. If you're having hip replacement, honey, they're going to get you up as soon as you're done. But yeah, or listen to us. Maybe while they've got you walking laps in the hospital or in rehab, listen to us. That would be an awesome way to do it. But so in our in-person workshop, we were talking about whether or not you had to track the 0-point foods. And then the next question was, okay, then why would somebody? Okay, I'm that somebody. I track my 0-point foods. You do not need to track, do not have to, do not need to. Deanna does too. Okay, so I track my 0-point foods because I need to, if I'm having any like weirdness in my weight loss, I need to know what I did or didn't eat because I can go back and see, oh wait, I had either, for me, fruit. I'm not diabetic, but for me, fruit, if I have fruit every single day, I will not lose weight. That's not true for everybody, but I can go back and look and see, there we go. I've had that too many days, or I've not had enough vegetables, or if I'm feeling sluggish, and we do have chats about, sluggishness, and we'll just call it that. But I'll go back and look and see, I haven't had enough vegetables or enough water or enough whatever. So if you're changing things up, if you're too hungry, if you just want to make sure that you're getting enough non-starchy veggies or whatever, that is a reason that you might want to track. And Carol Lou does it. She tracks her 0-point foods to keep herself in check. Debbie tracks hers so that she can see the protein amounts to make sure she's getting her enough protein in her day. That's a great reason. Scott tracks everything because he uses that information. So he needs to be able to go back and see that because Scott keeps a very definite record of how he's doing every single week, and he publishes that for us so that we can share in his joy, and also so that we can also realize every week doesn't have to be perfect, and every week is not a true reflection of how we did. But I think it's important for Scott to track everything so that he knows when he sees those trends, he can go, hold on just a minute. What was I eating or not eating? Or did I need to eat more of? Or something like that. Okay. So the next one was, do I have to update my app? You should not have to update it. There were some minor glitches, which didn't seem minor to the people that they were happening to, but there were some minor glitches that seem to have been taken care of. Although I have found a few pointing errors, which we'll talk about here in just a few minutes. But if you're still having problems seeing the latest information in the 0 points list, so again, you should not have to force update it. But if you just feel like this just doesn't look right, then maybe try uninstalling and reinstalling your app, but make sure you know your name and your password. Okay, so that's a thought on something that you could do. So what's the next question after that? If I said try uninstalling and reinstalling your app, what do you think the next thing is I'm going to tell you? Y'all know me. You know what I'm going to say. Make sure you know your login and password. So that was the next question. What if I forgot my login and password? I can't uninstall and reinstall my app. I don't know my password. How am I ever going to get back in? And that I hear, I don't know my password. What is my password? I hear that so much that it reminds me of those. I don't know if y'all have seen those commercials where the people are going, check your zip code. I checked my zip code to make sure I'm getting the benefits I deserve. That commercial has so worked on me because all I ever want to do is check my zip code. Anyway, check your password. I feel like that little old lady on there. Check your password. So if all else fails, if you don't feel like you've gotten the app update, if you don't feel like that everything's refreshed, if you feel like you're still missing something, and you uninstall and try to reinstall the app and you can't remember your password, even though I've said 100 times, get your password. Guess what? You can go to the device. Oh, hold on. Debbie said, I heard some rumor that Android devices were not updated until later. And she says that is false. She says that is false information. So if you do that, if you uninstall and reinstall your app and you've forgotten your password, you can go use the device that you registered with, or you can go to a computer and try to log on and click on forget password and then enter the email address. You do have to remember the email address that you used to sign up, and they will email you a 7-digit code to get back in. So you should be able to get that 7-digit code. So I used to try and fear panic everyone into remembering, because it used to not be that easy to get logged back in. And hello, Donna from Canada. It used to not be that easy to get back in, but now if you'll just go to that device, go ahead and click on forgot password, they will put in your email address, the email address that you registered with. They will email you a 7-digit code to get back in. Okay, the next question: does activity automatically add points, or can I turn that off? I asked that one. That was a question I had at my in-person workshop, because I personally do not want my activity points added in. I don't want them to show as available in my daily points. That's one, really like 2 little things, 3 little things maybe that I'm still kind of fussy about. It's okay in the grand scheme of things. I'm so happy about how easy this program is, but they will automatically add. So activity points will automatically add to your available, for that day. And there is no way to keep them from doing that. Right now, as of right now, this is 2022, November 2022. So I'm sure, maybe someday they'll come up with something, might decide to, might not. But currently, the only way to prevent this from happening is to, if you don't want your activity points to automatically show up in your dailies, then you have to turn off syncing with your fitness device. Okay, I don't really want to turn off syncing with my fitness device. I still want to see how many points I earned. I just don't want them to be available for food, because I don't use my activity points for food. So I'm not going to turn off syncing my device. And yes, Debbie, yeah. So Debbie, you are on a 2-second delay, because that's exactly the answer I just gave. I don't want to unsync it, because I do want to see how many. So somebody might want to. So that's why I'm telling y'all you can unsync it. I personally don't want to, so I just have to remember, okay, I earned 3 points today walking, so don't eat those 3 points, Kelly. But anyway, as of right now, there's no way to stop that. You just have to turn off syncing, or mentally remember, don't use those points. Okay. Then earlier we had the question, how many points a day will I get? So points are, Lynn, they do add to your weekly. Lynn is correct. They add to your weekly, but, and yes, Debbie, I do talk faster than you can type. They add to your weekly points, but I still don't want to use those. So I still have to remember, take those out, because I don't want to unsync that. Okay. Thank you for pointing that out, though. It is weeklies and not dailies. Okay. So the way points are calculated, so the number of points that you get per day, the number of daily points that you get per day, and to some extent how many weeklies you get, but the number of your daily points in particular are based on your age. So again, we talked about this last week. I'm 55. Your height, I'm 5'5" if I stand up really tall, and your weight, and then what your sex was assigned at birth. So you need to answer those questions truthfully. If you've not ever answered those, so like if you're brand new, then you need to go ahead and answer those truthfully. So for me to say that I am a 35-year-old, 5'10", 125 pound, whatever, does me no good. Hello, Mindy. And maybe Mindy can answer the next question, but for me to answer those questions. So again, if you're brand new and you're just filling out the things on your app for the first time, age, height, weight, sex assigned at birth, that's going to help make up your daily. That is going to make up your daily number. It has something to do with your metabolic rate they take into consideration all of those things. But if you don't answer them correctly, so if I said, so again, I'm 5'5", I'm 55 years old, I'm 5'5". If I said I was 35 and 5'10", and that I currently weighed 125, my points would be so jacked up, they'd be so low that I would just be mad, and walk off, but it wouldn't be true. So there's no human looking at this. Nobody's judging you. Nobody's going, well, you're really only 5'2" instead of 5'2.5", and you had the burrito for lunch yesterday, so you weigh a pound more. The sodium made you weigh a pound more than you did. There's no human judging you on this. Answer those questions correctly. And yes, Mindy's exactly right. She says that's why men typically have a higher points value. She's exactly right on that. But answer them truthfully. Again, no humans looking at it. No, whatever. It's all a calculation. It's an algorithm. A computer is going to be doing it. It's a no judgment zone. But yeah, you just need to answer it truthfully. And if you haven't answered those questions in a while, so like if you haven't tracked your weight in a while, you might want to go ahead and go in there and do that. If you are weighing a little bit more right now, like me, than you did pre-pandemic, you might get a few more points. Your points will go down as you lose weight. But anyway, let's go in there and answer that. Okay, Mindy, this is where you might have come in just in time. The next question I had, and I've had this one several times, is what is the lowest number of points a person would get per day? I think it's 14. Don't know where I heard that, but I think it's 14. And yeah, I don't know anyone that still just has 14 points. Like mine's back up to 23. I mean, mine was like my 0 point food list, because I had this, like when we were still doing personal points, mine was lower because I had so many 0 point foods on my list, and I was eating so many 0 point foods. So mine has gone up to 23, but I believe 14 is the lowest that anyone would be assigned. And I don't know what you would have to do to be assigned 14. Mindy says 23. You think 23 is the lowest? I don't know why I think it's 14. I don't know. We need to look into that. I swear I think it's 14, but I couldn't tell you where I heard that. So, okay. So that's an unanswered one. You all just go ahead and mark that as unanswered, or Mindy's probably right, because Mindy actually works there. So 23. Okay. So we're going to say 23 is the lowest that you can get. Yeah. And now everybody's jumping on the Mindy bandwagon. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. So we're going to say it's 23 is the lowest. Okay. Next question. Why do some foods have higher or lower points value? Okay, so somewhere, because y'all know I like to be right. I don't have to be right. I just don't like being wrong. So I'm gonna keep asking people what the lowest is, and then I'll let you know if I find out anything different. I'm just telling you, I heard it somewhere. Okay. Anyway, so why do some foods have higher or lower points values? Foods that are higher in things like fiber, protein, unsaturated fats, those are going to have lower points values. Foods that are higher in calories, added sugars, and saturated fats, those are going to have higher points values. So if you noticed anything change, still calculated the same way, it's still calculated exactly the same way as the personal points plan. If it was a food that had points designated, so like if it was an individual serving of chips and it was 4, it's still going to be 4. But anyway, that's what determines whether it's going to be higher or lower. Next question was, why did my 0 points food list still say that oats were 0 the first few days? Okay, so I had a couple of people that oatmeal was still showing 0 for them, or oats were still showing 0 for them. I had somebody that avocado was still showing 0 for them. I had several people that fish was not showing as a 0 point food. And it was the funniest thing for me to try and explain this to them. I said, like, with all new rollouts, so any new rollout of anything, of a computer program that has this many data variations, I mean, it has to be in the millions of hundreds of thousands anyway, of data variations. There's almost no way to account for every single anomaly that's going to happen in a rollout if you have to roll something out to the public all at one time. So if there weren't thousands of people getting this information and it has to work all at the same time, sure, you got time to work out the glitches, but this many configurations, it's going to have some little tweaks. So the people that were saying, it was funny, the people who oats were showing up as 0, they believed me when I told them that it was coming off. But the people who were not getting fish on their fish and shellfish as a 0 point food, for some reason didn't believe me. And I was like, it's going to be on your list. hold on, but trust me, it's going to be on your list. No, I don't think I get it a 0. I had one person tell me that their 0-point food list only had tofu and tempeh and yogurt, plain yogurt, and fat-free plain yogurt and fat-free cottage cheese on it, and they were going to quit. And I was like, do not quit. That is a glitch. That will be gone. That will be done in a couple of days. Don't you dare quit, because for a couple of days, I'm telling you what they are. Write them down. Just go back to your app in a couple of days. Okay, that one. And then the last question was, I mentioned some points errors earlier. What does that mean? So even though thousands of programming hours have gone into a rollout like this, there are still millions of food items that have to be individually updated. So I found several brands of beans in particular. Most of them were store brands that when you just scan the can, it was coming up as points instead of 0. Just to make sure, I just went and made sure that there were no funny things in it, like no added meat, no oils, no weird ingredients, whatever. And then I saved, and so then I scanned the information and I saved it as a new food and saved it as 0. So if you don't know how, we do not have time tonight for me to show you how, but if you do not know how to add a food, like if it doesn't something that doesn't automatically come up, or if you think, I need to check that one. Remember, there are millions of individual foods. I mean, like, if you can imagine, take a can of pinto beans. Kidney beans was the one in particular I found. There's Kroger brand, Publix brand, Meyer brand, Bush, Luck. I mean, there's just in that beans. I mean, there could be, 100 variations that all of those have to get taken care of. So anyway, I'll do another YouTube short. I don't know if you all noticed, but if you go to youtube.com and search If You Have an Egg, I've been doing a series of shorts on there. I've also been doing them as reels on Instagram to show you some tips on things. The nice thing about those is it's a video of my phone screen and not of my finger. So you don't have to look at my finger for me to show you that. Okay. So I want you to comment below with your favorite thing about the new Weight Watchers program. I love it when y'all comment. I love it, especially when you comment over on YouTube. Please, please, please remember to share and subscribe the YouTube, to share and then to subscribe to our YouTube. I can't tell you how many, most of our new members, so most of the new members in the If You Have an Egg group are there getting the help that they need, because life is hard. Losing weight shouldn't be. Okay, you're going to hear that a lot. Because somebody took 2 seconds to share a YouTube video and subscribe to it. Okay, it's free. Please do it. Okay, so that is enough for tonight. Oh, hold on a second. Mindy says her favorite thing is the excitement of the new members. Mindy, we talked about that in the beginning. People are so excited. I talked to 3 people today who are rejoining Weight Watchers just because they were like, oh my gosh, this one's so stinking easy. This is so stinking easy. I'm coming back. So anyway, yes, enthusiasm is high on my list. Okay, so everybody have a good evening. I would love to be able to move my right hand again. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you all good night. If you are watching this later on YouTube, I think it's going to be over here. Go ahead and let that next video roll over. The next video tonight would be chat number 295, which goes into all the details about the new program. Go ahead and subscribe. Click this little button down here and subscribe. And then, what was I starting to say? Hit subscribe, and don't forget to click that little bell so that you'll be notified when, when the next video comes out. But talk to me. Let me know how it's going. I think everybody's super, I'm seeing lots of excited comments here. Yay, that makes me so happy. But you all have a fantastic evening, and I will see you next week for our kitchen safety chat. So if you I'm going to go ahead and say, Deanna, the second half, Deanna and whoever my other friend was who is squeamish, I want you there next Sunday. The first half will be a normal chat. Second half, it's going to be about kitchen safety. Anyway, good night, everybody. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you next time. Good night.